California Congressman Devin Nunes believes Joe Biden is a compromised nominee for president based on what he knows about Biden's association with the Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma. One America's Hines spoke with Nunes for his take on the suspected corruption.
Do you think that their candidate, Mr. Biden, is somehow fatally flawed, particularly when you take into consideration these allegations of his activities involving Ukraine and Burisma, something I think you're familiar with?
Well, look, I think Biden is flawed for many reasons, but let's start with the fact that there's a reason that they're not letting him go out and answer questions, okay? I mean, the guy doesn't make sense half the time. Now, look, one could argue that, going back for a long time, he's always had these blunders that he's made. You go back in history, I think he had, several instances of plagiarizing. Eventually, he was kind of the safe pick for Obama because he had been there for a while. The fact that, you raised Burisma in Ukraine, despite the fact that they try to blame Republicans for that, they try to blame OAN for that, the fact of the matter is, it was the Clinton campaign that leaked this to their very favorite news outlets, places like the New York Times, that actually ran these stories on Burisma and on Hunter Biden's problems. So sorry, mainstream media, this is not some crazy right-wing conspiracy theory that the Republicans have. It's your conspiracy theory that you planted in the mainstream media by the Clinton campaign that you all ran with, and at the time you found that Biden must have some issues, which was done for what purpose back in 2015? It was so that by putting pressure on Joe Biden, they didn't want him to run against Hillary Clinton. That's what this operation is all about. So clearly, the Democrats back in 2015 thought that he had Ukraine problems. We never investigated back in those days because Biden wasn't a presidential candidate at the time. This was all foreign to us. Nobody knew any of this was going on because it was the Obama people that were really tied down, had those deep tentacles into Ukraine. The Clinton Foundation, deep tentacles into the Ukraine. And it wasn't until they made up the Ukraine hoax that we actually said, "Whoa, wait a second, wait. You're saying Trump has an issue with Ukraine? Let's look at that." And once we peeled that back, we didn't have to get very far. We peeled it back only a couple layers. And what did we find? Oh, lo and behold, not the Republicans who have a Ukraine problem. It's the Democrats who have a very serious Ukraine problem that the Clinton campaign plastered all over Biden way back in the day. Now, look, I don't know if Biden himself knew anything about this Burisma stuff. That's to be determined at a later date if he ever gets out of his basement where somebody might be able to ask him a legitimate question. My guess is he'll never be asked those tough questions.
Congressman Devin Nunes from the San Joaquin Valley, a senior GOP member of the House Intelligence Committee, thank you so much for talking to us on One America News. It's good to catch up with you, sir.
John, it's always a pleasure to be with you and the One America News team.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.